Taoism, the art of not trying, letting go of what holds you back. What do you think of when you hear the word Taoism? The Tao Te Ching? Or perhaps, mystical monks living in seclusion in the mountains, attaining perfection through Buddhist spiritual practices? If you're like most people, you probably think of at least one of these things, but it turns out that Taoism isn't just about spirituality and mysticism, it's also very relevant to the here and now, particularly in how it relates to your career and day-to-day life. In our fast-paced, constantly connected world, it's easy to get caught up in the noise and forget what's important. That's where Taoism comes in. Taoism is the philosophy of flow, or the art of not trying. It's about letting go of what holds you back and living in the moment. It's about being present in every moment and making conscious choices that align with your true self. It's about letting go of everything you think you know, so that you can find out who you really are. What is Taoism? Taoism, also spelled Taoism, is a religion based on the teachings of Lao Tzu. It teaches wisdom through simplicity and a way to attain inner peace through Wu Wei, doing without doing. Alan Watts said, Taoism is both supremely rational and supremely irrational, which sums up the contradictions inherent in this ancient philosophy well. Taoism is also known as one of the most profound Eastern philosophies, as it has been passed down from generation to generation, by wise sages like Lao Tzu and Chuang-Tzu. Letting go doesn't mean giving up, it means freedom. As Mark Twain once said, in quitting I had gained freedom. We all experience various levels of letting go throughout our lives, but when we let go too much, life becomes chaotic. The key to living a balanced life is knowing when to stop letting things go, before they take over your whole life. When we let go of old habits, people, places, or jobs that no longer serve us, we're often left feeling vulnerable and afraid. But letting go doesn't mean giving up, it means freedom. Letting go is powerful, because it allows us to see the other side of fear, and embrace new possibilities for happiness. Fear is one of the biggest things that holds us back in life. It can prevent us from taking risks, trying new things, and achieving our goals. But what if we could learn to let go of our fears? That's why Taoism could help. Taoism teaches you how to let go of your fear by understanding it, accepting it, and finding peace with it. Letting go of fear will give you a sense of inner peace, which will help keep negative thoughts at bay. Taoism encourages people to follow their natural instincts, without any type of judgment or expectations. There are no restrictions on what someone should or shouldn't do. Everything is based on whatever makes them feel most alive. Taoists also try not to worry about the past or future, because both are beyond their control. Instead, they should focus on living in the present moment, for as long as possible. Alan Watts said, the more time we spend regretting yesterday, or fearing tomorrow, the less time we have today. And that sentiment reflects much of what Taoism preaches: live in this moment, and let go of all worries, so that you can be happy right now. The idea behind Taoism is that each person has their own unique path in life, but there are certain aspects to the philosophy which apply universally. We live in a world that is always demanding our attention. There's always something that needs to be done, and we can often find ourselves feeling overwhelmed. But what if there was a way to approach life that didn't involve constantly trying to keep up with the demands? This is where Taoism comes in again. Taoism is about letting go of control and trying, instead, to get out of your own way by not forcing things or forcing yourself on others. It's about finding inner peace by doing without doing anything at all. It's about using the natural flow of things as your guide. In fact, one of the principles behind Taoism is Wu Wei, which means not doing or doing without doing, or actionless action or effortless effort. One of the best ways to understand this concept is through an analogy with water. When you're moving down a stream on an inflatable raft, you don't fight against the current, rather you let it take you where it will. In the same way, when someone tells us they have bad news, we might choose to say, okay, rather than getting angry and upset. We allow the person to talk without interrupting them. They have a chance to tell their story fully, before giving advice, or telling them how to fix it. If we stop for a moment and let them finish, then maybe together, we can find some new solutions. After all, the past cannot be changed, but only learned from. And sometimes no matter how hard we try, it won't make any difference anyway, so why bother? In today's society, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life. We are constantly bombarded with things to do, places to be, and people to see. It can be difficult to find time to just stop and relax. Taoism is a philosophy that can help us do just that. It encourages letting go of what holds you back from finding inner peace and happiness. In Taoism, everything moves in cycles. There is nothing static or permanent in this world, because everything changes as it moves, through the cycle of yin and yang. People need to recognize when they are out of balance, and seek harmony again by doing less and living more. In this way, we can learn how to live for ourselves rather than for others, by not trying so hard to impress other people, or win their approval all the time. In order to have a healthy mind, body, and spirit, Taoists believe in balancing our physical selves with our spiritual selves. They also believe that letting go is a necessary step on the path towards enlightenment and inner peace. By letting go of what holds us back and following the flow, instead of fighting against it, we can let nature take its course, while still working within its boundaries. And finally, by understanding the idea behind Taoism, the art of not trying, one can achieve serenity and balance in both their own life, as well as being able to lead those around them towards happiness too. True wisdom, according to Taoism, comes from letting go. That means, not trying to force things to happen, or holding on too tightly to what you have. Instead, it's about learning to flow with the changes in life, and trusting that everything will work out in the end. The Tao Te Ching, the foundational text of Taoism, lays out these concepts in a clear and concise way. In it, Lao Jia, the founding figure of Taoism, explains that the key to a happy and successful life is to align yourself with the Tao, or the natural flow of life. This can be achieved by living in harmony with others, and letting go of your attachment to material things. It may sound simple, but achieving this state requires a lot of self-reflection. It's easy to get caught up in the rat race, constantly striving for more, and forgetting about being present. Once you learn how to let go though, life becomes much easier, because there are no more regrets or worries. And if you're able to let go of even the small stuff, imagine how calm and peaceful your mind would become when faced with major decisions. It's important to remember that letting go doesn't mean giving up. On the contrary, it's embracing change as part of everyday life, and having faith in the process. When we accept our limitations, we free ourselves from mental constraints. Letting go also means becoming detached from emotions like fear, anger, greed and lust, which are all part of our human nature but ultimately toxic to our happiness. So today I ask you to let go of anything that prevents you from moving forward towards your goals, whatever they may be. We all know the saying, if at first you don't succeed, try again. But, what if the key to success was not trying? That's the philosophy behind Taoism, an ancient Chinese belief system that teaches us the power of letting go. In Taoism, there is a concept called Wu Wei, which means doing without doing, or not doing. This doesn't mean sitting around and doing nothing. It means flowing with the natural order of things, and going with the flow. When we let go of our need to control everything, and just go with the flow, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, and new ways of thinking. We also find inner peace and harmony. There are many benefits to practicing Taoism. For one thing, it can lead to more creativity and spontaneity in life, because people no longer feel like they have to plan every single moment down to the minute. For another thing, Taoists believe in balance between yin, feminine, and yang, masculine, so this practice could help reduce some gender bias in society as well as getting rid of other biased attitudes, or stereotypes too. Furthermore, since letting go is part of this belief system, stress levels should decrease significantly, for those who practice it on a regular basis. People will experience less worry about their future, less concern about their past mistakes, and overall less anxiety, because they're constantly letting go of what holds them back. It may sound counterintuitive, but letting go has never been easier than with the art of not trying. In Taoism, there is a distinction between enjoyment and pleasure. Enjoyment comes from within, while pleasure is externally sourced. Enjoyment is a state of contentment that doesn't rely on external circumstances, while pleasure is dependent on those circumstances. Taoists believe that enjoyment is more satisfying and sustainable than pleasure. But what does this mean? Letting go of what holds you back can help you get to the root of your problems, so you can find solutions. Let go of your troubles by embracing them and accepting them as part of life. If it helps, list all the things that are holding you back from finding peace in your life, or doing what you want to do, including negative emotions like fear, anger, anxiety, depression. Consider what needs to happen for you to let go of these things, so they no longer hold any power over you, or prevent you from moving forward with your life goals, or doing what makes you happy. Let go of self-defeating thoughts and behaviors. Let go of toxic relationships and unhealthy habits. Let the things that weigh you down come into balance with other areas of your life. Live by one rule only: be true to yourself and who you really are at heart. Don't let anyone else tell you how to live your life. Get in touch with what matters most to you, and spend time on those things, instead of just trying to be someone else. Let go of the fear, anger, anxiety, depression, etc., that is preventing you from living freely and fulfilling your dreams. And don't forget about letting go when you need it too. Allow yourself some downtime so we don't burn out. Allow others some space too. Sometimes people need space when they don't know how to articulate their feelings, because they haven't found inner peace yet. When we reach our breaking point, we can either let everything fall apart, or we can try again tomorrow morning, and every morning after, until something works out better. What do you think of the art of not trying? Thank you for watching.